Well, it's time to make a video. We're going to do the Mrs. Mills VST. I just woke up from a nap, so my typical IQ of 89 is currently down to a dull 82. So you're just going to have to put up with the fog brain right now. Let's see. So I've got the Arturia Keylab Essential 61 here. But any old mini keyboard will do it. I only got the 61 because I'm not that much of a piano player. I don't need a full 88 keys. I wouldn't know what to do with all 88 of them. For the trolls that like to say I can't tune my guitar, I would like to have you tell me today that my piano's out of tune. That would be great. I know you guys think you're the guy from Shine, and you can listen through a concert and go, oh, the third violin is a little flat on string 5. But, you can't do that. You guys that tell me my stuff's out of tune, it ain't happening, boys. You're wrong. You're just making crap up. All right, so we're going to load Reaper here. And maybe we should have talked about what it is we're even auditioning today. Let's go. Yeah. Always one thing after another with this Mac loves its pop-ups. Let's see what we got here. Spitfire audio. It's the Spitfire audio. And it's called Mrs. Mills Piano. Sorry that there's some noise in the background. I've got an AI farm rendering some juicy AI. Mrs. Mills Piano. So Mrs. Mills Piano was a piano long before the Beatles came along that was in Abbey Road Studio 2. She was one of your classic folk, everything, folk music for the folks, show tunes, I guess, popular songs. And she was a lady. She was a real lady. And this is her piano, and it was on quite a lot of Beatles recordings. It's debatable whether it was on Hey Jude. I'm pretty sure it was on Hey Jude. But we're going to listen to it in all of its presets today. So it's a Mrs. Mills piano. I tend to ramble, so you can just use those magical controls at the bottom of your own YouTube there, and you can skip through my video as you like. All right, Reaper, give me a new project. All right. So you don't know how to set up a MIDI setup in Reaper? Just get yourself a track. All right. And I already got the USB cable in my Mac and the driver for this Keylab Essentials. I already got it going. For your PC, do the same thing for whatever keyboard you got. You don't have to have a big MIDI keyboard like this. Little one will do it. I've got a few little ones around here as well. If you don't have that, Reaper has an onboard. Somewhere in here, there is an onboard. I'll never find it right now because, like I said, I just woke up from a nap. But somewhere in here, there is an onboard where you can actually press the buttons with your mouse. But anyway, okay, so get yourself a track like we've done. I'm going to go ahead and arm it for recording. I'm going to call it MIDI. I'm going to call it the Arturia, and I'm going to put it on all channels. I don't know if you can see that. Let me move my stand here. This is the simplest thing you can do right now. Record, MIDI, pick your keyboard, all channels. Now, dig that a little deeper. You're saying, well, it's not in there. Well, you got to come up to your audio settings. So just click. Yeah. Freaking now I've turned my stand into a selfie stick, for God's sakes. Click your audio stuff. You get into your settings. Go to MIDI devices. And find it here. Okay. That's out. That's in. You just click on it and enable it. Now, if you don't know which one, you're like, there's 4 of them. Why is there 4 of them? Well, because the audio industry is absolutely retarded. They have no respect for you, and they have no respect for me. So when Arturia and all the companies and Reaper and everybody get together, they hire an engineer named Idiot Boy, and they say, Idiot Boy, did you make it simple for the people? And Idiot Boy goes, no, I made 4 of them. Okay, and now you got to guess. So because of it, what Idiot Boy does when he programs this stuff for us, you got to guess. Now, I guessed right that it's this 4th one. You're going to have to check on yours to see which one Idiot Boy has left behind for you. Now, why do I say that? Well, because there should just be one in there. You and I, we're not trying to be C++ programmers here. We just want to play piano, for God's sakes. And it's a Mac, for God's sakes. Like, it should be you and I, we buy this for hundreds of dollars or more. Some of the higher ones are even more. You plug it in, the Mac goes, yep, Reaper goes, yep, and then off we go. We should, my young kids should be able to figure this out. But you'll have to, unfortunately, go into Idiot Boy's menu here, find your keyboard, click on it, enable, and then you can go to MIDI, Arturia, all channels. Now, for you guys that have done this 100 times, yes, it is easy for you, but it's not easy for newcomers, is it? Now, when I press buttons on my keyboard, like so, you're going to see action here. See that action? That's how you know we've solved the labyrinth of Arturia Idiot Boy's driver department. All right, so now what do we want to do? Do you see this area here? That's where we put our VSTs or VSTIs. A VST is a virtual software something. I don't know what the T stands for at this moment. VSTIs is virtual software I, which stands for instrument. Okay, so I'm just going to start typing Mrs. Mills. And my keyboard is low on batteries, so that's going to be a problem. Mrs. Mills. All right, here we go. And now we've got the interface. Now, this company, and I always forget their name. What is it called? Sana something. Spitfire Audio. Okay. They do not hire Idiot Boy for drivers. They have very nice user interfaces. Everything you buy from this company is high quality. Okay. And in this case, they've partnered with Abbey Road Studios. I really need a pointing stick. That's not just a pen. I'll do a pointing cable. Abbey Road Studios. Okay. Now, do we have sound? No, we do not have sound. Why not? Let's find out. So, we are going to find out why we don't have sound. Oh, there we do. Now, my audio interface here, I'm going through the Apollo. My monitor is just turned down, so that's like a classic dumb move, And there's that clacky Mrs. Mills piano. It's really unmistakable because, as the story goes, at one point they hauled it out of Abbey Road Studio 2 and had it redone in that they took the velvet, the soft hammers on the piano that hits the strings, and they shellacked them or waxed them or did something. So you get more of a clacky. So now you hear that. Your piano's out of tune. Yeah. Let's hear it, boys. Tell me that my MIDI piano's out of tune. All right. So yeah, everything Spitfire Audio does is super high quality. And that's not just my opinion. That is from God himself. You can look back 100 years from now in the encyclopedias and Wikipedia, and it will say everything Spitfire Audio does is A plus 10 out of 10 quality. Okay, that's not my opinion. That's just reality. That's it. Okay. What else was I going to say? Oh, they don't pay me. Nobody pays me. I don't get a dime for this stuff. I go into debt for this stuff. All right. So, what are we going to do? You land on a preset called Mrs. Mills Piano Altogether. Piano's out of tune. You'd actually see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you actually see the little what I'm pressing down here. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but really didn't think this through when I jammed the piano so far away. Yeah. So, what do we got here? Let's do some presets. So we got Mrs. Mills Piano Altogether. Now, I know the Beatles have a song called All Together Now, just kind of a throwaway. I don't know if it's a reference to that. 1968. So that'd be like... Ooh, she got real compressed there. Turn it up some. Lady Madonna, children at your feet, wonder how you manage to make ends meet. Who finds the money when you pay the rent? I don't know the chords. Did you think that money was heaven sent? I'm just making the chords up. There's probably a sharp in there. Who finds the money when you pay the rent? Did you think that money was heaven sent? Friday night arrives without a suitcase. Wednesday morning papers didn't come. Yeah, I don't know the chords. I used to know the chords. But anyway, can you hear how Beatly that piano is? How Beatly I'm not and how Beatly the piano is. All right, this is called Distant, which is funny because it's actually louder and more forward. Just messing around here, folks. Close. It does sound closer. It sounds so good. There's just no regret. I'm sorry I don't remember what I paid for this. If it was 100 US, it was worth it. If it was 200 US, it was worth it. If it was 300 US, it was worth it. I'm playing Mrs. Mills' piano in Abbey Road Studio 2. I mean, I'm not there, but it's been sampled, and you know, how does a goon like me get a hold of this piano? You know, like, it's worth it. What's a plane ticket to London, England to get thrown out of your ass when you try to get into Studio 2, right? Yeah, it just sounds so good, and it's so worth it. This one's called Clean. That's a very good starting point. It's just like, oh, you want clean? Here's clean. I'm gonna just plug my my camera in. Please, for the love of God, don't stop the video, you stupid phone. Idiot Boy also works at Android. Okay, we're back to Altogether. So there's not a lot of presets, which is good for me. I need limited choice, or else I get analysis paralysis. Sounds so good. So this is obviously not the Imagine piano. It's obviously not the Let It Be piano. But you know, I would say anything 68 and earlier is fair. It could have been this Mrs. Mills piano. There's not a lot else to the the plugin, which is great because I don't need all the options. Let's crank the reverb here real quick. That's nice. Is that what Abbey Road Studio 2 sounds like? I have no idea. I mean, they often use those that weird room off to the side with the it's not plate reverb. What is it? I can't even remember. Anyway. I transpose on this bad boy.
When
I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me. There will be an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Again, it wouldn't have been that piano because that was at Apple Studios on Seville Row that you see Paul McCartney playing that big German piano. Mrs. Mills was more for like Desmond has a bow in the marketplace. Desmond has a bow in the marketplace. I don't know these chords off by heart. I wish I could play Hey Bulldog. Hey Bulldog may have been done here, but Hey Bulldog might have been done at Trident Studios. 1968 was a funny year from them moving around and starting to protest against EMI Studio, Abbey Road Studio a little bit, going, well, listen, if you're going to confine us to 4 tracks, we're out of here. Then they got the 8 tracks. Oh, you're going to confine us to 8 tracks, we're out of here. We're going to go over to Trident Studio, where these other hotshots are, they've got a little more... not American technology, but they're a little more up with it than you EMI guys are. So the Beatles really pushed the envelope. So it's hard to tell it's not hard to tell. People know, but it's hard for me just to rattle off what Mrs. Mills' piano was played on with the Beatles. But so anyway, yeah, it sounds good. I don't remember what I paid for it. These plug-in companies have these specials where they're like, 50% off, 75% off. After they sell 3,000 copies of the software and, hopefully make their money back, they can discount this stuff deep because, it's software. They're just copying a license at that point. It's already developed, so... Diddy List and Epstein List. Who is on the Diddy list? Who is on the Epstein list? Let's guess. Tom Hanks, are you on the Diddy list or Epstein list? Are you on both lists? Diddy list or Epstein list? Leonardo DiCaprio's definitely on the Diddy list. Ellen's on the Diddy list. Ellen's on the Diddy list. Howard Stern's on the Diddy list. Oprah's on the Diddy list. Leonardo DiCaprio's on the Diddy list. He might also be on the Epstein list. Bill Gates is on the Epstein list, but is he on the Diddy list? We don't know yet. So yeah, it's really beautiful, the the way that the chords come out when you're singing songs about the Diddy list. So yeah. Alec Baldwin's on the Diddy list. Ellen's on the Diddy list. Usher's on the Diddy list. Justin Bieber, Diddy list. Justin Bieber, Diddy list, Diddy list. Bill Clinton, Epstein list. Bill Clinton's on the Epstein list. Bill Clinton's on the Epstein list. Bieber's on the Diddy list. So yeah, it's a really nice sounding piano if you want to sing songs about who's on the Epstein list and the Diddy list. You definitely do that with it. So in fact, I would say this is one of the better VSTIs available. I've tried to sing Diddy list and Epstein list on other VSTIs, and it works, but it's just This one is just particularly, Justin Bieber on that Diddy list. Oprah's friends with Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein, and with Diddy and all kinds of perverts. You're gonna find out, you're gonna find out. So yeah, no, it's just a particularly good virtual instrument by Spitfire Audio called Mrs. Mills Piano. So anyway, thanks for watching.